Hi Jonathan, we turn our attentions from the league to the William Hill Scottish Cup this weekend. We have Peterhead here at Cappielow. Can I just get your thoughts on the match ahead, please?
It's a tough game. Peterhead is top of the league and it's a team in form. So we know that we have to prepare properly and prepare like all the league games. But otherwise than that, I think I love the cup competitions as a player. I love them as a fan. So I always see a cup as a great opportunity and something that the players need to grasp with both hands.
You mentioned the cup as a player. Have you got any favourite memories of the Scottish Cup?
I was lucky enough to win it a couple of times with Rangers. It's a great place because it's magic of the cup. The drama of the cup is always things happening and you're the luck of the draw so everything is in this competition, and it's different from the league, very different from the league, especially for the teams from the lower divisions. So we know that, but we prepare for this as any other game, and the players should use the disappointment in the other two cups this season to really have a go at the Scottish Cup this year.
How welcome a distraction is the Scottish Cup?
As I said, I love it. I love the cup because it's always a one-off game, and then it's hopefully you'll be in the hat for the next round, and you take it from there. And I think it's something as well for the fans. It's a little bit more relaxed and fun because it's different teams from different leagues, and you get different opponents, and as I said, I love the drama of the cup.
How much do you know about Peterhead?
We watch them. I haven't seen them live, but I've seen them on video footage. We know their strengths and weaknesses, and as I said, we'll analyze them and prepare exactly the same as we do it with any other league games. And we're aware of the dangers they can cause us as well. So it's about ourselves first and foremost, but it's about getting a good performance as part of the team.
How important is a cup run, do you think, for the club?
The cup runs are always important for any club, especially for if you like smaller clubs or championship clubs or lower leagues. We can't take that away from we need to live with that pressure of going through in the cup, and then for all the reasons, financial reasons as well. So we know the importance of this game, and that's why we don't take it lightly. We definitely not, and we look to progress in this cup.
You've obviously played in different countries, played in your homeland Finland, you played down south. How does the Scottish Cup compare to other national cup competitions?
I think the tradition is so long, both in England and in Scotland. The cup has such long traditions, and it means so much to the fans, and that's not the case in all the leagues. It's not maybe the case in Finland. The cup is not as big unless you get to the semi-finals, finals. It's hardly shown on telly, but I think with the British Cups, it's such long traditions, and that's why the fans love them, and that's why they are so highly regarded, also abroad.
We mentioned England there. Your time at Charlton Athletic was the subject of a documentary last night from Premier League World. It was on Sky Sports BT. How did you enjoy the documentary experience?
I thought it was good. They were there filming a lot, and we talked a lot, and then they condensed it into about 15 minutes, so you never know what you're going to get. So I was pleased with it. It's nice to memorize sometimes, but also nice to come back to now and look to the future. And I think the documentary did both, so that was good.
In the documentary, it was your time at Charlton, and Paolo Di Canio was there. I actually forgot myself that you played with Paolo. What was it like to play with a kind of maverick character like Paolo Di Canio?
Well, it was a character you never knew. I played with a few characters, and you never know what you're going to get on the pitch or off the pitch, and that's why everybody loves them. Fantastic players, has the skill to back it up as well, and he played a season and a bit, and then he went back to Italy. But fortunate enough to play with him. Is fantastic player, and as I said, a lot of stories, but not many you can talk about.
Would have been interesting to see how manager Alan Curbishley handled a character who can be volatile like Paolo. Was that something you noticed at the time? And maybe, I don't think there's many characters that like that at Morton at the moment, but does that kind of give you an idea for management?
It's I don't know what they spoke obviously between themselves, but it's totally different time. And to be, the one thing I say about Paolo, he's very, very professional. you never had any problems with him on a training pitch. He loved football, trained hard, took care of himself. Was a real good example for the young players in the team. So there was no problems with that. And during his time at Charlton, there was no off-field drama either. So I think Kerb's had a pretty easy ride there.
I think it was last week now, Kerr Waddell renewed his loan. You must have been pleased to get Kerr tied up until the end of the season.
Very pleased. I think he's done well for me. He was been on the bench when I came in, and I saw something in him, and I thought he was deserving a place in the starting lineup, and he's grown from that. I think what I like about him most is he's an old-fashioned defender. He loves to defend. He loves to put his head in all the balls, and you can see how important it is to him to win the tackles and all that. And I think the fans has really took to that as well. On the other side, we'll work with him, and now when we know he's here for the whole season, we got more time to work with him, and it was important to get it done early. I think when we were planning for January, it was important to try to tie up our loan players.
He was keen to stay, I'd imagine. He's
really enjoying life in Inverclyde, and I spoke to him a while back the first time, but the timing has to be right when you try to make these deals, because if you get the mother clubs, if you like, or the owner club's manager in a bad mood, he might call him back. So you have to be careful when you make that phone call. But luckily, Dundee was fine, and Kerr's really been enjoying it. You can see that in his eyes when you speak to him. He was really wanting to stay. He's mixing really well with the players, and he's loving life in Inverclyde. So for me it was a non-brainer, but it was just getting the timing right, and we're happy to have him here now.
He'll be eligible to play in the Scottish Cup, is that right?
He will be, yeah. So he'll be in the squad for Saturday.
How does that work with Ross McLean and Scott Tiffany? They're both on loan. Will they be eligible to play?
No. Both, or neither one is available for the game. So that's a miss, but it's something we knew about and something we had to just confirm with the clubs. But both are ineligible to play.
Just on the same note, could you give us some injury news, please?
It's pretty much the same as United. Charlie came off with a knock, so we wait for him. Chris Miller's been training, so we're waiting for him for his fitness. And speaking about otherwise, this should be the same team pretty much as United.
How's Danny Johnson? Is Danny back in full training yet?
No, not yet. But he's striking the ball. He's feeling quite positive. He's been running mostly, but also some light ball work. I'm hoping to have him in training with us on Monday. So, and then we'll see how the knee reacts to that.
Any improvement with Rhys Lyon at all yet?
Not yet. He's still out for this weekend. But again, I'm hoping to have him next week in training. But he's still feeling his knee a little bit, so we're being careful with that one.
Excellent, Jonathan. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck in the Cup on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Cheers.